Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen, looking at the PTU, the Public Test Universe Patch 3.0af that was released on the 5th of December. Now there are some known major issues with this patch. There are still frequent 3.0af network disconnect can't connect errors. These are currently being addressed though, and hopefully we should have a fix for that today or tomorrow. Ships currently only have one functioning MFD, a multifunctional display. There are also frequent CPU spikes associated with ships using a physics grid, and it seems to be just on the server in general, CPU spikes. Both Constellations and Cutlass currently can't be made flight ready. The first implementation of persistent bed spawning is in, though this has and will have numerous bugs and issues. Items and ships placed in hangars are not persisting between sessions either. Let's look at some of the updates in the patch. So this one's quite funny. They removed trash from in front of Levski's Market and swapped out the Dumper's Depot clerk for one with stable hair. That's the sort of patch notes I live for. Before that, unstable hair, madness. The UI stuff, so they've updated cursors for interactions on various ships. They've added audio for inner thought prompts. With ships and vehicles, pressing F6 now completely powers down your ship. There's been a balance pass on Item 2.0 components as well, more notably for that shields have been really focused on. Bug fixes, so they've fixed permanently open doors at Guaranteed Defense. They fixed atmosphere issues in the command module for the Caterpillar. The automated defense turrets should now properly function in the landing zones that they appear. The entering the pilot seat of the Mustang Gamma and Omega should no longer teleport the player underneath the ship. They fixed an atmosphere gap in the Cutlass where the cargo hold met the cockpit area. They also fixed an issue with the Starfarer where a second player sits in a seat, all MFDs turn off and until the power is cycled, which is obviously annoying. Quantum travel entry sounds should now play for the Gladius. They've updated texture streaming to fix some issues with moon surfaces. They've refactored how impact damage is calculated to fix high damage for low speed player impacts. They also set escort missions to spawn Constellation Aquillas and changed nav point markers. They fixed objective update spam and reordered missing crew lists to be more logical, and they fixed missing audio from journals during the PI Wanted mission. They did fix some other crashes, minor ones with both client and server, and they fixed the Arena Commander multiplayer mode entry crash as well, so you can actually play Arena Commander again. So with cargo, carrying commodity crates dropped from a destroyed vehicle will now appear in persistent data when placed inside another ship or vehicle. That's great. That means we'll actually be able to keep those stored in there between sessions, hopefully. There's also been other bug fixes with exiting the pilot seat of an 85X while landed should no longer trap the player inside the ship geometry, so you can actually get out now. Players should now be properly receiving scores for damage in Arena Commander Swarm modes, and they fixed various VFX and trigger issues with exploding objects in Stormrain. There are some new AMD and Nvidia drivers released at the end of November, which are actually really worth downloading because they seem to improve frame rates in Star Citizen a reasonable amount. So check those drivers out. I'll put a link to them below, or I'll put a link to my performance guide which has all the latest drivers and everything listed as well and can hopefully help you have a better Star Citizen experience. Though this patch has some new stuff, the CPU spikes and the 3.0af errors are extremely aggravating and need to be addressed ASAP. A focus still remains on testing all the core content with 3.0af, so ships, missions, and the first iteration of now that bed logging and spawning, but this could be one of the things that's causing a lot of the problems. If those CPU spikes and network errors get fixed, then expect a wave 3 of invites to potentially go out for the PTU this week, allowing more players into the PTU with a concerted effort to try and get the PTU into everyone's hands by Christmas. Potentially a live build, though that's looking less likely with these kind of errors. I am experiencing higher frame rates actually in general, just looking at my footage, in more congested areas as well. I'm getting higher frame rates, but also significantly more of those CPU spikes, which is significantly worse than low frame rates, to be honest. Just bear that in mind. They are making improvements, but also they occasionally get these really bad bugs that crop up and can make the game less playable. Every month we have a giveaway. For December, it's the massive Orion mining vessel that's been donated by our featured org, Self-Made, an organisation that kind of has a lawful neutral stance, but looks at all types of gameplay and focuses on you as a player, developing your character, and kind of not being a dick to others. Links below if you fancy joining them. They are active now and for 3.0. All you need to do, to be in for a chance of winning that Orion is be subscribed to my YouTube channel and comment on any of my Star Citizen videos during that month. Do you have any questions about the latest patch, about the PTU, about 3.0, about Star Citizen development in general, or for me, chuck them in the comments below. A special thank you to my Patreons for allowing me to create the amount of content I do. If you're interested in becoming one of them, then please check out the links to Patreon as well as everything else we've talked about below. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, as it really does help me, and I'll see you in the verse.